Good day, YouTube, and welcome to Bishop's Blast. I'm your host. I go by the name of Dr. Mebane, where we dive into a sanitized version, or what I consider a sanitized version of a YouTube channel, where we have a blast talking about all things firearms related. Now, I'm not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just a retired Navy guy that loves God and has quite the affinity for all things that go boom. So at this point in time, I'm going to ask you to do me a real quick favor, and if you would hit that subscribe button with me. I think that if we continue to do so and we chronicle this journey, maybe we'll be able to have a blast together. And since I'm already asking for all these favors right off rip, do me another favor, and if you would hit that like button, this would truly help me immensely. So now, as we're getting ready to go into another version of Bishop's Blast, come on, let's get it in. Now, we're going to talk about something that's also near and dear to my heart. We talked about EDCs, we talked about what I carried before, but now we're going to talk about home defense. Home defense should be something that all of us are extremely concerned about, especially in the days and times that we're living in today. But today, I'm going to go over three different variations of things that I would use for home defense. I'm not going to necessarily use them in this order, and I'm going to switch some things around a little bit, but I do want to let you know these are three things that I would consider using pertaining to my home defense. Now, I'm not going to tell you all of the stuff that I use for home defense. I got to make sure that I keep some stuff in a bag that don't nobody know about, but I want you to just be able to get a glimpse, and maybe this might be able to help you out when you're trying to figure out what are you going to utilize if somebody tries to come into your home unannounced and without your permission. So we're going to get into that. So as I go into home defense, I really want to make one disclaimer, and the disclaimer is this: there's, once again, similar to my EDCs, I don't make a whole lot of modifications to my firearms. I just want to make sure that it's reliable, that it does what it's supposed to do. But I do utilize certain tools when situated to make it more useful for me, whether it's in the dark or regardless of whatever the situation or circumstance might be in. So I'm going to go over three different firearms that I might use in a home defense situation. Once again, not in this order. As a matter of fact, the one that I picked first will probably be the one that I would use last in a home defense situation. So what I'm going to start off with is, I'm going to start off with this baby right here. This is the Walther PDP. The Walther PDP. This firearm is something that really feels good to me. It's funny, I just got back shooting it in the range, but I really like this firearm, the Walther PDP. Again, show it to you. All firearms clear, safe direction, and shoot. Now, the Walther PDP, I like this for variations of reasons. One of which, I do have it sported with a hollow sun. So I am using optics with this one, but it also, and it came this way with the suppressor height sights. So that if something happened to this hollow sun, which actually regenerates its power from the sun, but if something happened to it, I also have iron sights that I utilize to co-witness with this. Not only that, but I also utilize the fact that it has a light that goes with it. So I'm utilizing this light. It's not one of a big brand, name brand light, but it does the job very well. It feels real good in my hands. I love the fact of the front and the back cocking serrations when it comes down to this firearm. And as a matter of fact, if you're one of those people like me that aesthetics do mean something, this is a beautiful looking firearm. I love when you get a Walther firearm, specifically this one, even in the carrying case, it matches the front and back cocking serrations that are on here. The box matches the serrations in the box. So I really love this. It's something that most of my firearms that I really use for defense don't necessarily have a safety on it. That's my preference. It may not be your preference, with the exception of this trigger safety that's on here. But this is a firearm that works very well with me. And if you haven't shot one, go to your range and rent you the Walther PDP. It is an excellent firearm to utilize in a self-defense situation. This is the full size that you would use in self-defense situation. Now, going into what I would use probably second. That would be third. So we're counting backwards. That's number 3. Number 2, what I would probably use is this baby right here. This is Diamondbacks version of an AR-15, the DB15. Yes, the DB15. I want to let you know everything's clear, safe direction, and it is now fit for safe. So once you set up there, cleared, and the safety is on. The DB Diamondback 15. I really enjoy this firearm as well. Now, even though I haven't put no real mods on it, I have made this work for me if I have to utilize it in a good self-defense scenario. So what I did was I did put a good arm guard here. This DB15 has a 16-inch barrel. The trigger is phenomenal out the box. I did not modify anything with the trigger. I love the fact that it has a safety on this. I also, not only did I fit it with this, I also have front and back irons that I made sure that were on here. And I bought this Force optic in here that I would utilize to co-witness. Not only that, but I have this base plate that I tape right here that I can utilize the light also that I put on here. So while I'm actually engaged, I can actually hit this pad right here and my light will come on when I need to utilize this. I love this Diamondback 15, the DB15. This is a good platform. This is one of those things where even at distance, I am extremely accurate utilizing this firearm, and it works very well. It's comfortable for me to be able to use. Just to let you know, it is chambered in NATO 5.56 and 223. This is phenomenal. So if you don't have one, if you just say, I just want to start off with an AR-15, this is a good starter AR-15 for you. The DB15, excellent firearm, and it feels good. It's easy for me to utilize. I'm not one of these Navy SEAL guys that feel like I have to clear the house when somebody breaks in. However, I feel very comfortable utilizing this. Sometimes people say that they utilize hand pistols instead of this because of the ability to be able to go in and maneuver with doing this. But let me let you know something very easy to be able to figure out. From where my front hand is on this M-lock, that's probably the same distance that my hand would be if I was pushed out utilizing a pistol. So just as fluent as I would be with that pistol, I'm pretty comfortable in maneuvering and doing things with this DB15, Diamondback 15. If you don't got one, go get you one, cop it, be able to play around with it. Once again, chambered in 5.56, 233. It comes with these P-Mags, 30-round P-Mags. It's hot, so I'm not putting it in here, but the DB15, go ahead and copy one. That's number 2. Now I'm going to go into my number 3, what I would utilize when it comes down to my number 1. What you gonna stop somebody with if they're trying to come in there and stop you? I'm probably gonna go with the shotty. Now I have variations of different shotguns. I have 20 gauges. I have 12 gauges. But what I'm probably going to utilize initially for me, and it's extremely comfortable for me, and it's comfortable, and I've had other family members to shoot this, is I'm probably going to go with my number 1. This is the Mossberg Shock WV. This firearm is phenomenal. I'm going to tell you something about this, but listen, when somebody breaks into your house and you don't want to yell out, police, what you doing, why you in here, all you need to give, they hear that's all they need to be able to hear to know it's time to get out of Dodge. I like the fact that it has this little brace here. Some people don't decide to use so, but I tell you this, I would hate for my hand to slide off and come in front of this barrel. But this Mossberg Shock WV is phenomenal. It's I love the grip that it has on it. I did put an additional rubber grip on here. I am pretty accurate with this. Let me go ahead and tell you this right off rip. This one is not chambered in 12 gauge, 10 gauge, 20 gauge. This is chambered in 410. So all of the kick that people are worried about, this has no kick. This is something equivalent to what I would be able to shoot out of a pistol and feel pretty comfortable shooting it out of a pistol. This is the Mossberg Shock WV, and it's something that's near and dear to me. Now, don't get it twisted. If you was to ever come up in this domicile, all of them are probably at the ready and nearby in proximity for me to be able to utilize tools as a force mitigator to make sure if you're trying to do any harm to this household, you're going to be in trouble. But this one, I'm telling you, we can make that sound all day long. This is what I would utilize. If you don't want to use the Mossberg, or if you want to use, because the Mossberg doesn't just come in 410. Let me show you the size of the 410 shell. If it doesn't just come in the 410 shell, you can get it as in a 12 gauge. It's just going to let you know right off rip, it's going to have a little bit more kick to it. But that 410, I can sit up there and continue. I can continue to run those 410s comfortably and not worry about it kicking or being overpowering to a small guy, even someone like myself. So the Mossberg Shock WV, I need to be able to let you know this is something that you'll be able to get. Also, it does have a safety on the top. I don't know who would utilize it, but because when I touch this and I'm ready to engage, I'm ready to make sure that whatever needs to get done. Plus, I don't put my finger on the trigger unless I have an intention on pulling it. So, or point my firearm in a direction, in an area or place where I don't expect a bullet or something to, a projectile to come out of. So I just want to let you know, safety rules, we got to be, somebody say safety first. We got to be safe when it comes down to this. But my number one is a shotgun. Specifically today, we're going over the Mossberg Shock WV, chambered in 410. Now, that's what I have to show you for my top three. Let me give you an honorable mention, and it's something that I just wanted to really pull out, to be honest with you, to show you how easy it is to deal with the 410. I think that it's time that we have to deal with people and things going on, and we need the justice system to step up. So when the justice system don't do what it's supposed to, guess what I'm bringing to the table? I'm bringing the judge. That's right. It's the Taurus Judge. And the Taurus Judge, guess what it takes when it comes down to firearm safe, empty, clear, shoot? The Taurus Judge. Get a look at it. I wanted to bring this out, really, mainly, but just to let you know, the same thing that's chambered into this Mossberg Shock WV is the same thing that will take this judge to be able to hold court, make sure people get to understand this is what you need to be doing. So the judge actually plays the job of all things to me. It's the prosecutor, it's the one that comes out, it's the district attorney, it's the one that's gonna make sure that you become safe, the judge. And for something that shoots something this, it's really manageable to shoot. This is not one of the things that I'm saying that I would use for home defense. I just had to pull it out, mainly, honestly, because it was chambered also in 410. It's the Taurus Judge. Now, just wanted to share that with you. Really, sometimes you have to utilize whatever force multiplier you have to make sure that your family is safe. There was a time that I was, I'm a martial artist. I've been in martial arts since I was 7 years old. It could have been a throwing star, a 3-section staff. It could have been a nunchucks, commas, of swords. Ask my children, they will let you know I had it all. And I would utilize whatever it took to make sure that my family was safe. You need to do the same thing too. So for everybody that's trying to take away our Second Amendment rights, just understand you do have a right to bear arms to protect yourself. I don't advocate anyone doing any bodily harm to anyone, but I think that we all have a right to defend ourselves. So that's my little disclaimer. I just want to let you know. Thank you once again for tuning in to Bishop's Blast. I hope that you are enjoying this just as much as I'm enjoying this, so that we can have a blast together. I want you to tune in, because I'm going to go over very soon a couple of other ones that I've got queued up, and I'll be sending out shortly how to deal with traveling with a firearm, firearms that I purchased that I will probably never purchase again. The ones that I said, hey, look, I'm keeping, regardless of what upgrades that they bring to them, I'm keeping them, and I'm keeping them how they are. I will share all of this content with you. So once again, thank you for tuning in to Bishop's Blast. I hope that you continue to tune in with me. Take care. Be blessed.